Hello everyone. Today's demonstration will highlight how Itential, Digit, Cisco, and IBM have collaborated together to digitize the customer service order-to-activation journey through the adoption of dynamic architectural principles throughout the fulfillment stack, from self-service management portal to real-time network control via automation and orchestration while realizing the network as a service vision. As part of the demonstration, we will create a new sales order via Digit's Telfro service portal. Upon order acceptance, Digit will leverage TMF 641 APIs in order to kick off an automated network-facing set of services exposed by Itential Automation Platform, which represents the NAS layer in the solution architecture. Upon receipt of the order, Itential will integrate with multitude of technologies including Digit, Meraki, NSO, Azure AKS services, and IBM Edge services via TMF and vendor-native APIs in order to fulfill the network provisioning required as part of the service order. Let's get started. As you can see, we're logged into Digit's Telflow software where we will instantiate a brand new sales order. We will be ordering SD-WAN ready network where we can add multiple products as part of the order. Starting off with the SD-WAN virtual connection service, where it has dependency on the SD-WAN underlay. Here we will fill out all the necessary details needed to order the SD-WAN underlay product and also review the pricing summary that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. As you change the selections, the pricing is calculated dynamically for each product type for this particular order. Next, we will also complete our product details for the SD-WAN virtual connection and run through the same motion for validating pricing at the end of it. Followed by that, we will now add a compute node product to our sales order in order to make sure our infrastructure is ready to go for our edge applications. As you can see, users get to select the attributes for compute node as well as review pricing. Finally, we will add our Edge application product to the order to complete our dynamic Edge application bundle. Now that we have finished filling out all the product details, we will generate a quote for the entire sales order and accept the changes. As you can see, the product order has now been acknowledged and moved into in-progress state as Itential has successfully received the service request from Digit in order to go provision the network for this sales order. Now, we are logged into the Itential Automation Platform, where we will show you how the service request from Digit is reflected as a network-facing automations. Let's dive right into it, the Active Jobs application, where you will see instances of all automations happening in real time. In a few seconds, you'll see a new set of active automations populated for the SD-WAN virtual connection service that is part of the sales order. We will dive right into the top level automation and visualize the automated flow. So when I click on it, it actually opens up the instance of that particular automation, where you will notice as part of this modular automation that is required to fulfill the virtual connection, we have additional child jobs that are also available as part of the top level flow. As you can see, it has successfully leverage the evaluation capability to pick the right modular automation. And within the modular automation, there are multiple things that we're actually fulfilling. It's a policy map, endpoint, and an SD-WAN unit. Diving right into the VC endpoint, as you can notice, it is actually instantiating a particular atomic automation to go claim devices as part of the new network that was created. As the flow indicates, it's currently provisioning the endpoint followed by the UNI. When we go in more details into the endpoint provisioning, I will dive right into the Meraki portal to show you that we're actively utilizing the native APIs provided by Cisco Meraki in order to provision a brand new network, as well as claim and associate network assets for that particular network to support the virtual connection. What we're going to do is dive right into the actual automation to provision the underlay for this particular sales order. Let's dive into the automation itself. As you can see, based on the evaluation of incoming data, it took the right path to go provision the SD-WAN underlay. To show you the data transformation, I would like to go into the Automation Studio just to show how easy it is for our customers to perform data transformation within the platform to support evaluation as well as incoming and outgoing data. As you can see, on the left-hand side is a service payload that came through Digit. And as a user, I have the ability to pick out things that I need in order to fulfill the service payload for all of the other network-facing services that are exposed northbound via the Itential automation platform. It's very easy for users to leverage the methods available on the right in order to create one of these. Going back to the automation itself, we will dive right into the SD-WAN edge subflow just to show you what is happening there. As you can see, within the SD-WAN edge provisioning flow, there are multiple different steps. Some of these are manual steps and some of these are automated. Let's go take a look at some of the manual steps that a lot of our customers put as part of their automation to make sure if there are fallouts or information required, a human is available, and it's available for humans to actually fill out. As you can see, this is actually leveraging Cisco NSO in order to provision the layer 2, layer 3 VPN service in order to support the underlay. And in this case, we are committing the service into the network so it can be utilized for our end-to-end service automation. As you can see, the flow has finished and it highlights which path it particularly took as part of this automated flow. Next, we will take a look at the compute node service request that was part of the sales order, where Itential is leveraging Azure AKS native APIs in order to provision a cluster for edge application deployment. As you can see, these are some of the flows that are active as part of the active jobs application. Now that we're clicking into it, you can see that it's currently performing post checks in the visualized view. As you know, it has taken this right path based on the JST transformation and the evaluation. Going right into the compute node service, you'll notice it's currently performing a post check activity. Given that we have successfully provisioned the cluster for application deployment, what I'll do is go dive right into that atomic flow. Within that atomic flow, you will notice there is a green box here. This green text actually represents an automated task, which could be an API, a script, or a module. In this case, it's an API. It's a native API provided by Azure. In this case, we also capture and audit all the incoming and the outgoing data. The outgoing data is actually a response coming back from Azure AKS. So what I'll do next is log into Azure just to show you that we have successfully leveraged the APIs in order to create the cluster and keep the infrastructure ready for the edge application deployment. And here it is. As you can see, based on all the attribute, it has successfully created the AKS cluster service. And now the final part of this orchestration is the IBM Edge application provisioning. Let's jump right into the flow and see what's happening there. So when I click on the flow, it gives you the top level view of us leveraging JSTs in order to identify which modular automation to kick off. As you can see, it has evaluated correctly. It has kicked off the edge application deployment. So when we dive right into that modular flow, you'll see that it's currently at a manual intervention step that enables the user to see the diff between the pre-checks and the post-check. And as part of this flow, what we're doing is we're leveraging native APIs provided by IBM Edge Hub in order to do pre-checks, provision the business policy and the app, as well as perform post-checks, which will be utilized in order to show you a diff. Now, when I go into the manual task, let's go take a look at what the diff looks like. Right? As a user, based on your role-based access control, I can work a task, a manual intervention task, and see this particular diff. So on the left-hand side is something that we did before, on the right is after. As you can see, we have successfully instantiated the app and assigned a brand new policy for that particular Edge application. Now what I'm going to do is log into the Edge App Manager and to show you that we have successfully leveraged the APIs, the native APIs, in order to create a brand new policy and associate that with the Edge app deployed on the brand new infrastructure that we previously created. For the next part of the demonstration, we will show you how we were able to rapidly leverage IBM's open APIs and create an integration that could be consumed as part of our drag and drop low-code interface in order to create some of these automations. As you can see, I will browse to our Admin Essential application, where we will see how a user can immediately and rapidly onboard open APIs provided by multiple different vendors in the edge space or any other domain. As you can see, we have already onboarded the IBM Edge Open API spec, and based on that particular Open API spec, we're able to create different variances of the integrations. And these integrations actually show up in the Automation Studio in the drag and drop canvas, so you can leverage all the APIs provided that particular vendor. So now I'm going to go into the Automation Studio and pull up one of the automations that we have already created for the IBM Edge Hub deployment, the application deployment. So in this case, when I bring this one up, you'll notice we have already utilized some of these tasks in the middle, which are the green boxes. On the right-hand side, you'll notice a lot of integrations that have already been onboarded, but specifically, we'll take a look at the IBM Edge Application Manager. When I open that up, these are all the APIs that are provided natively by the IBM Edge Application Manager that a user can drag and drop and incorporate as part of their end-to-end automation. In this case, I can actually choose one of these, like the one on the right, and I've successfully added that. I will draw a transition from one of the other automated tasks to this one. When I double click on that particular task, you'll notice we automatically understand what the inputs that are required for that API. So users don't have to. And in this case, it's very low code. So the automation engine understands what has happened before. So we can take the output of the previous task and incorporate it as an input into the next. On the other hand, you'll also notice there are multiple other applications as well as integrations onboarded on the right for users to actually leverage as part of their drag and drop automation building activity. This is what we call rapid design. Once you build these automations, the next step is usually to expose them. When I bring up the next automation, you will see how we were able to rapidly also leverage TMF Open APIs in order to support the dynamic nature of publishing all the automations we're building within the platform, northbound to portals such as Digit in order to provide the rapid design and expose model. What I'll do is on the right-hand side show you that these are the TMF 633 APIs that users can actually leverage in order to create an automation that constantly, or whether it's on demand or on a scheduled fashion, publishes all the brand new automations being created within the Itential automation platform. As you can see, I can create a brand new service catalog purely by dragging and dropping some of these APIs that are standard, right? And basically, I just draw a transition in order to create the end-to-end flow that might be leveraged or utilized by someone like Digit as a portal to consume all the NFSs we're actually creating within the platform. What I'll do next is log into Digit's Telflow system to show you how they can actually consume all the automations that we're building within the Itential automation platform. As you can see within the Composer application on the left-hand side, we have already published the IBM Edge app, the version .1, right? When you click on it, these are all the attributes that were published as part of the payload that we provide as part of the notification for this brand new service catalog item. As you can see, the more you innovate within the automation platform within Itential, the easier it gets and the dynamic it is for us to publish these automations within Telflow system or Digit's dynamic service portal, so it could be utilized by customers as part of their sales order.